Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. I need to record some videos, but we're back into the swing of things. The start of the year, you know, things going on as per usual. But the thing I'm going to talk about today, which maybe you can tell from the title, I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do today's title, but is an absolutely amazing, I guess, birthday present, of a little bit delayed, but all the same, highly appreciated nonetheless. But good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 9:19 PM on Monday, January 5th, 2026. How's Gacha Games going? I think I've played through most of the event things now, apart from ZZZ's new events. Didn't expect Star Rail's event to be literally like 10 minutes long. The Genshin one I've done, although there is a new one which just started, I think, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about. Uma Musume, day 2, round 2 went a lot better. Instead of getting like, what was it, 2-1-3-1 or something, I got 2-3-4-4, I think, something like that. Or maybe 4-3-2-3. I can't remember. Anyway, it was significantly better. Swanky. Yeah, so we can give this to Audie. And yeah, that's it for Catch Talk. What I'm actually going to talk about is, so basically I have a friend who she does pop out actually into the stream chat here and there, because she's my friend who's actually played and beaten all of, as far as I understand, all of everything there is to do in Blueprints. But she is incredible at crocheting. I don't really know what spurned her to, I suppose, start crocheting at some point, but she did at some point, and she got like, she was pretty darn good. You know, she would show off her creations and we'd be like, yeah, that's awesome. And then what she started doing is she started making birthday presents for basically everyone in our friend group. She would crochet a present. And it was honestly super sick, because, well, I mean, presents are very well appreciated, and I think I speak for most people when it's like, you know, presents which people have put work into, you know, or, you know, handmade presents are the ones which are definitely the best, in my opinion, rather than, I mean, materialistic ones can be as well, but, you know, I always find them like there's a risk, because it's like, well, if you're getting something which is aesthetics based, like, you know, like clothing, jewelry or something, you'll have to know my tastes very well. And I think I have somewhat predictable taste. Like I do tend to like generally more minimalist style things, but there are always exceptions to a rule, which makes it like impossible. Not to say I don't appreciate those sort of things, because I do like gemstones quite a lot, to be honest. But anyway, not the point. The point being, is that, you know, handcrafted, these sort of presents are fantastic, and I'm very lucky that a lot of the presents that I got have been, I suppose, along that ilk. I mean, the one I got most recently, right, was the poetry anthology, which was awesome and genuinely one of my favourite presents I've ever got. You might be like, where is it right now? That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think I put it in that drawer right there. Hello, Tarantula. But yes, so anyway, this friend, she's been doing a lot of crocheting stuff and been basically making one for each of her friends as the birthday comes around. And it was a slightly amusing thing, because when she started, I think, my birthday had like just passed. Like the first one she did it for was the person who was directly after my birthday. Obviously I have no qualms against it, because like I thought it was an amazing thing that she was doing, to be honest. And then I think I made a joke where I was like, by the time you get to me, you're going to be like incredible at this, so I'm going to get the grandest thing possible. And lo and behold, you know, I don't know how she's done it, but like she somehow like just really churned out quite a few of them, which, you know, if anything, should give me inspiration to actually churn out the Animal Crossing fun a lot. But she churned out quite a few of them, and my one, as I understand it, is the last on the list. And lo and behold, she sent it off, and she said like, oh, you might get it like around the start of New Year, and lo and behold, I have gotten it at the start of the new year. It came today. And I don't know what I was predicting. No, I do know what I predicted. I was like, maybe she did something like a deer, because what did Darling? The other thought is like maybe she did something related to like some other games I played. I don't know necessarily she would know what to pick, but that's a possibility. But I did have another thought where it's like maybe she did something D&D related, and the character she did was one of the characters which I predicted she might do. But I also was like, that sounds pretty difficult, so I don't know how she would do that. But lo and behold, you know, should I ever doubt my friend's crocheting skills? Absolutely not, because she did. As I got the box for delivery, and I was like, this is a pretty big box. It's a lot bigger than I expected. But you know, I also thought like some of the other things that my friend has crocheted. I mean, she's crocheted like a full-on hat, like a minion hat for one of my friends. She's crocheted like a mini Farina from Genshin Impact. She's crocheted like a can of baked beans from one of my friends. I'm trying to remember what other ones. Crocheted like a pumpkin frog, I believe. What else has she crocheted? I can't remember. I can't remember who she's got. Like, I know she's crocheted for another one of my friends, but that friend hasn't received it yet because she lives in a different country. So I'm not going to spoil what it is, just in the off chance that it somehow gets to her. So I did get the parcel, and I was like, this is a really big parcel, because it's much bigger than I expected. So I was just like, okay, you know, I open it later. I mean, I was still working, obviously, so, you know, like, after, like, towards the end of the day, or, no, it was during lunch, a bit after lunch or whatever, I decided to open it, and I was, like, peeling back the layers or something, and I looked inside, and immediately I was like, oh my gosh, it's one of the things I possibly predicted, but thought it might have been a bit too difficult. It is Kiki, my kobold wizard NPC character from D&D. And probably I would say at this point, the NPC which has the highest relevance in both campaigns. Definitely more important in the campaign this friend is in, but like the other campaign also has met her and has known about her and is now like becoming more of a center point as like a linking force between the two campaigns. At least that's, you know, probably what's going to happen. It's crazy. So like the art that is used for Kiki and the thing is not art that I drew. It's art that I found by an artist I do quite like. And I'm just trying to remember their tag. I think it's like P Live or something like that. Is that right? Pink. If you search Pink Kobold Wizard, it would probably come up. It's not that one. It's not that one. Maybe Pink Kobold Wizard P Live. Oh, yeah, there we go. Small Pink Kobold Commission. You can find on X, and it is P Live. That is the artwork I used for Kiki, because long story short, is Kiki was the player character I used when this same friend did a short stint for a D&D campaign. That Kiki was a bit different. That Kiki was a bard. She was going to be a glamour bard, and I didn't like have a full sort of like fleshed out personality for her. Like I thought she definitely would be nice, but I think that maybe she would be like a little bit like how I describe her is that she would lull people into a false sense of security, because that's kind of how kobolds are, right? But then she ended up basically being the serious one of a group, because it turns out the people I play with almost every single time with D&D just end up being insanely chaotic. So yeah, she was the one who sort of drove things forward a little bit. But yes, and then when I did a D&D campaign, like that D&D campaign, unfortunately, she ran out of time to be able to sustain it, so that sort of went to pass. And then when I started my D&D campaign in a world, I was like, I have to put in Kiki, like one of my favourite characters, I suppose. My favourite player characters. Like all my previous player characters are in the campaigns, which is crazy. Like Kiki being this one, Aravela, who is a very important character for this person's campaign and the current story arc for that group, was a Dragonborn bard I played for like 2 sessions before, and my tiefling rogue, who is no longer rogue, called Fate, who is essentially the primary antagonist in the other group's campaign. So yes, like I've been reusing my characters. Anyway, so Kiki got put into this new D&D campaign, and she she kept elements of the same story, but like she's different in character. Like she's, for one, a lot more grown up now. She's now like a postgraduate age sort of student. And she's now a wizard instead of a bard because it always made more sense with her story. But basically, her previous story was a kobold who had like a weirdly high affinity to magic. And then something happened, like in the previous stories, and I think I'm going to keep it ambiguous for what her story is in this time, but basically her kobold like pack tribe died or something. And she managed to escape, and she was one of a few who managed to escape and live, and then she was found basically by a wizard called Taikarasu, or Taikoros, originally, who basically took her in because he's always like, whoa, you have like really high affinities to magic. And then she eventually learned to be like a wizard's apprentice, is the general idea. And then eventually in the original Kiki story is Taikarasu was like, he was kind of like not a revolutionary, but he was kind of like one who stood up to the norm, against the norms, and then he worked for like a kind of corrupt government, like as and sort of like was the one who had like an opposing force against them, so to speak. And then he got executed, and Kiki, set off on a journey, to sort of like, basically, spoilers I suppose, was her thing was that she was going to try and basically find any way possible to bring him back. Never got to that point, but you can see I reused that story for Kiki being the introductory sort of main NPC for that group's campaign, with Taikarasu being the sort of main person actually alive in here. And my plan was like, if all goes well, or not if all goes well, but the eventual story beats would be Taikarasu, same sort of thing, would get executed, but then they would still prevail somehow in overturning this corrupt government, and Kiki would be the sort of main point of contact and sort of carry on in his memory. Well, turns out, and I spoke about this before, maybe like 2 years ago or something, is that they actually did pretty well. And I was like, okay, well, obviously, like they came up with like a good plan, they executed upon the plan, and I was like, well, if you do that, I'm not going to force him to die. Like what you've done has made sense that you saved him. But still, like there's consequences because he was basically put in like a what's it called? A stupor, a trance, essentially, which is currently one of the things that they're trying to pursue, of like how to sort of bring him back, essentially. But he's not dead this time. He's very much alive. He's just like magically suspended, like equivalent of like a coma, I suppose. While Kiki has stepped up to be the sort of main point of contact. So yeah, Kiki in this campaign is a lot more mature. She's a lot more, not reliable is the wrong way to put it, but she's, is like grown up Kiki, I suppose, an alternate reality Kiki. And she definitely is one of my favourite NPCs. Like obviously I have a strong bias to the NPCs who are the ones I've played. To be honest, I don't know if she's my favourite NPC. She might be my favourite, I don't know. Aravella's probably out there as well. Pinky from the other group is also out there as well. But yeah, it's so exciting. She's so fluffy, she's so soft. Like I cannot, like, if only I could transfer feels through video right now, but she has such soft, like, it has such a soft velvety texture is probably how I describe it. And it's so cute, so darn cute. And it makes me want to actually like draw Kiki, because like, again, it's another thing, whereas like a lot of these characters I have designs in my mind of like what I think they do or should or would look like, but at the same time it's like, am I going to draw every single character for the campaign? No. Like that would basically mean the campaigns would take essentially forever. So instead what I did was basically just took art for which I thought was close enough representative, and honestly this one is very close to probably what Kiki would look like. I think Kiki probably would be a bit smaller than the actual artwork shows himself, but like I love it. Like this is like not life-size Kiki, it's like half-size Kiki, right? She's genuinely, she's like a foot tall, like this plushie. It's so huge. And she even has like little glasses on and everything. It's so adorable. Like I genuinely love it so much, and it makes me want to draw Kiki like for realsies and be like, okay, yes, this is what Kiki looks like in my mind. makes me so happy just to see it. Like, I don't even... I got to think of like a great place to put her as well. You know what, I can put her... No, the problem is she doesn't sit up very well. So wherever I put her, she'll have to... it's not me complaining about my friend's crochet skills, of course not. I adore it. I fully adore it. But like, I don't know how I'm going to display or put her around anywhere. So for now, she's basically just sort of chilling on my bed. Well, currently I'm holding her, but she was chilling on my bed because I was like, I don't know where to put you. But yeah, it's incredible. My friend's crochet skills, like genuinely really incredible. I can't imagine how complicated this is to do all these like different shapes and stitch them together, like a witch's hat on top, and she's got clothes like the witch's robe or the wizard's robe she's wearing, she can take off, and she's just sort of like chilling in just like t-shirts and shorts. It's so cool. I wonder if she made up this sort of plan, like the thing you do to actually stitch them together. I don't really know how it works, but it's amazing. Like the wizard, like not lab coat, but wizard coat even has like these like really large sort of like shoulder pads that come out, and then it sort of even like flares out at the bottom. It's great. She's actually got quite a Christmassy sort of feel to her, so kind of in season, hey. And she has horns which actually go through like the wizard hat, and now I look at it, the wizard hat also looks like something that would come off. Well, okay, it looks like it's affixed by stitching, but it looks like it's actually almost a separate piece. I don't know, I daren't not touch it. She's also got, of course, like stuffing in her, so she's like fluffy, she has some substance to her. It's incredible. It's genuinely one of the most craziest gifts I've gotten. I love it. Her head does flop around quite a lot. I'm not necessarily sure why. But it's so adorable. I cannot imagine how difficult it must have been. But yes, it's Kiki! It's genuinely incredible. Because I've also received like drawings, I suppose, or fan art, so of our campaign, and Kiki is in one of them as well. It's fantastic. And I say it once, I say it again. I love it every single time this happens. Right, guys, and I was going to bring up the artwork, but I can't even see where it is at ATM. I don't know. Oh yeah, this one. It's so cute. Look at Kiki. Oh. It's brought me back to being a kid again, getting plushies. Anyway, so okay, Kiki, I'm putting you back down on the bed. I need to make a thumbnail out for today, and then figure out what on earth am I going to title today's episode. Crocheted gift or something? The thing that surprised me is generally how big it was. Because I was like, why is this box so big? And I was like, oh, I must put a lot of padding here just to make sure that things didn't like break or, I don't know, keep it safe. But no, she's generally just massive. Yes, I have some fantastic friends. I don't know, I guess I'll draw a wizard hat or something. Kiki! No, I put... Crochet is crazy. That's a tagline. Anyway, on that note, I guess I'll round this episode up here so I'll go record some Lorelei with Laser Eyes now. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time, let's sit down. Bye-bye for now.